Hello everybody, welcome back to another Dark and Darker video. Today's topic is talking about crafting and why I think it's a bit OP right now. So first off, if you didn't know, they have added crafting to the game. And so now those weird items that aren't really treasures that you're supposed to sell to the collector and they really aren't weapons or gear, those are used for crafting. So things like bowstrings, skulls, centaur horns, those are all used for crafting, and I think these items are a little bit OP that they create right now, and okay, that's a little bit of stuttering. Happens sometimes when the server's just starting up. And we are on the High Roller map, which is fun. I mean, it's obviously in the normal Goblin Caves now, and I just keep getting this map that I absolutely hate. It just doesn't have as much loot as the regular maps. I don't like it. What the problem with crafting is you can see all of the item lines before you craft the item. And every 30 minutes, this resets. And because it resets every 30 minutes, and it's the exact same item, it has new attribute lines, and you can tell what attributes it has. Basically what you do is you sit there with your items to craft it, and you just wait until you get the best in-slot rolls possible. So if you're ever crafting the item and you're not getting best in-slot rolls, you're just not min-maxing right, you're just not playing the game right, you're just not doing it right, and you're just not getting as much money as you possibly could be for doing what you're doing. So you'll see people buy up all like the Spear of Rot items, which takes a couple of cheap items, but spears are pretty good, and then they'll just wait until I get the best in slot rolls. And I'm gonna heal up here real quick using these bandages, because that poison hurts a lot. And when you wait for the best in slot rolls, you can get like +9 damage and +2 all attributes on a single item, and that makes it worth a couple keys every single time and makes it really good. And you can also do this with pretty much everything else in the game. So what you can do is you can get candies and wait for your purple items and just wait until you see some best in slot rolls on an item that costs like 20 candy. And you can just buy it and resell it for a couple keys. And this has become its own whole system for earning money, where you will just go ahead and sit there on all your accounts and trade back and forth. Get everything over level 15, and then you sit there with a bit of money. You buy the items that are best in slot, and then you sell them to other players. And this earns you oodles and oodles of money. I do not particularly like any system that allows you to just sit out in the trade lobby and just sit there and earn oodles of money way faster than you would by actually playing the game. Really, the only thing I think that's faster than that method for earning money right now at this point is doing high roller bosses with a really good team who's going to survive every time. And you need to be extremely, extremely good for that. Like, I don't have a team good enough for that. I'm not good enough for that. And I played this game a lot. I play it quite a bit every day, and I still can't do that. But doing the trading, it doesn't actually take all that much skill. All you got to do is go ahead and look in the chat, see what items are selling for after you see a couple good rolls on your items in the shop, and then you go ahead and sell them. What's this buckler got? +1 knowledge. Gross. And what happens when people go ahead and do this is it actually makes it so that all the gear in the game is better than it's really supposed to be, because there's way more items with super good rolls in the game than there otherwise would be, because the items we find in the dungeon are actually random. But these items are not random. It's someone just choosing to buy them. So you get to see all of these rolls without actually needing to purchase them. So now your plus weapon damage items and all that are going to cost about the same as your other items, unless it's one of those purple items with those god rolls, because not many people are doing the candy trick yet, but I think they're going to be soon. And as far as I understand, you can also do this with like ruby silver and such as well now, because they let you see the stats before you even buy it now, which they absolutely shouldn't. And there's 2 people here. That guy's sitting down over there. No, 3 people here. Oh boy, there's a lot of people. Let's just not get involved. I smacked one of them there. Oh, I'm down. That's okay. We run it back. Let's see how much health he had. He didn't have much health left. Looks like he won that fight overall. Oh well. So real quick, this is what I'm talking about. So these items over here in the crafting, you can just sit here and wait until I have good rolls. And you see this void blade right here, right? That third line. Plus 3 additional physical damage. What's stopping you from waiting for every reset and just grabbing these items? And this one, especially right here, because it's not too expensive and it's a very good item. And these rolls just make it absurdly, absurdly powerful. This one right here, you have to kill bosses for to get the ingredient for it. This one, you don't need to do that. The ingredients are cheap and you get a super good weapon out of it. And you can just wait for good rolls and sell it for 2 keys. Or how about the ruby silver now? You can just go ahead and wait for all the rolls you want. It obviously gets worse with items with 4 rolls rather than 3. And you can do the exact same thing over here with jack-o'-lantern. So you just look around here and you go, that's a really good item. And then you sell it. Okay, here's one. This Bardiche right here is a very good item. Plus 2 all attributes, plus 3 weapon damage, plus 3 max health. That is 32 candy corns. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm just swapping between my characters every 30 minutes. And if you just sit here with like 40 candy corn and just buy up all these good items and then flip them onto the trade market, you will make oodles and oodles of money so fast. You do need to know what items are actually good, otherwise you will not make money doing this. But it is absurdly, absurdly good as far as a method goes for earning money. Or how about this longbow? If this longbow is not 80 candies, and as far as I understand, the rolls are just random for how expensive they are. Plus 2 all attributes, physical damage bonus, plus 3 max health. If that was 25 candy, okay, you're just making extreme amounts of money off of that. And as far as I know, candies are down to like 12 gold each. So this is pretty easy to do. And why play the game anymore? I could just flip these really good items that I can just find the rolls on just in the chat here. And there's a couple other items here that are really good that people do not seem to know about, which is this Fangs of Death necklace. And by the way, you can just once again wait here and just wait for the right line items to pull up that are good for you. Same here for this Grim Smile ring, and you might be wondering why I'm thinking these items are OP. This necklace gives magic resistance, so you can use this to build a physical damage reduction setup and a magical damage reduction setup at the same time. It is possible to get 70% on both of those simultaneously. I've seen barbarians with it in High Roller. It is almost impossible to kill these barbarians. They are basically invincible, especially with their 250 HP. And then on top of that, there is this luck stat. So if you did not know, luck is actually extremely, extremely good line item. And especially if you're running high roller bosses, you are going to want as much luck as you can possibly get, because it will hugely impact the chance that you get legendaries and uniques, and you can get purples up over 3 times as common as they would be before just with luck. And you need those to get the maximum stats. And of course, the Grim Smile ring there also has the strength on it, so why not run it? You can get the best rolls on it with 3 strength, and on top of that, that necklace also has the luck and the magic resistance. So those are both really best in slot. Maybe they want crafting to be best in slot, and maybe they should be, but I just don't think you should be able to sit there and grab the very best item from the shop just by waiting and refreshing every 30 minutes. That's kind of dumb. And this just exacerbates the problem of what we were having before, where, okay, too much weapon damage, time to kill is getting a little bit too fast. But when these items are coming into the game in extreme quantities because there's players flipping them, then everyone is going to be able to have these like super high weapon damage kits, and it turns really into a one-hit kill fest. And you might go, oh, it's balanced then, because everyone can do it. Yeah, the argument I'm going to make there is that that isn't fun, and what that causes a problem with is your classes that have longer range and faster attacks, they will just absolutely obliterate everyone else, especially Ranger. Okay, this guy's doing his little worm attack where he slithers away. Come back here. And we're just going to crouch and look down every time he does that one. Bah. Oh, I got hit by the same spike trap twice. Luckily, there is a health shrine over there, so we're all good, and I am well within the zone. Although my DPS isn't very high. Oh, now I'm poisoned for an eternity. 2 blue surgical kits. That's actually not bad. That's like 100 gold. So that is not a bad drop at all. Now we'll drop that short sword. Let's go ahead and go get the health shrine over here. That lantern goes in a backup slot, so that's good. And I like the new trading system. I like that we can buy a lot of blue items all the time. I do not like that we can just go ahead and figure out exactly what items we want and what we are wanting to kit, and then just sit there and min-max by just waiting and refreshing the game every 30 minutes. So it's rewarding you for playing the game less, and this is the exact problem that people were talking about with the trade chat in general. So it's just rewarding you for playing the game less. I don't particularly like that in a game like this where you get bonuses from playing and getting the loot. Trading is really, once again, the best method to earn money. If you know that little trick I was just showing you guys where you just use the candies and you flip the items onto the market, the really OP items. And players are going to start abusing this and figuring this out and do it even more so after I make this video. And I hope they do something to make this a little less common. Make it a little bit more like the Goblin Trader. And maybe items need to be a little cheaper if they're going to do it this way, where it's random rolls. Because sometimes you'll just get absolutely terrible items. Oftentimes, you'll just get absolutely terrible items. But I think it needs to be a tad nerfed from where it's at now. I like that we can buy the blues. I like that we can buy the purples. It just does not make sense to reward players for playing less of a game. Reward players for flipping more than actually killing enemies and taking any risks. I like that this game is risk versus reward. You know, you go in with gear, you do a little bit more damage, you can kill more players, you can get a little juicier than that even. We're gonna pull this death beetle here. Okay, he's dead now. Oracle robe +1 knowledge. We got some move speed boots here. And it's especially egregious with those crafting items, so you can really min-max very quickly with those crafting items. And you guys will see it in the fighter chat where people are buying those for like 2 keys. Because the item has like +15 damage on it once you actually look at the stats. And so the item itself is like 2 times better than any purple you can buy. And they're not that hard to craft. You can craft them for a couple hundred gold worth of ingredients. And then you get an item that's like better than a named unique is oftentimes. That's not to say the named uniques are not cooler, but that one will just do more damage. We got some plus additional damage hats here we'll grab. And they didn't take their lantern over here. Those are free money to me. Another aspect I have forgotten to mention is that blue and green items are already to the point where the rolls really don't impact the price of the item anymore. Because the items are so dang common now. So you can just go and get whatever rolls you really want off of any item in the shop. And if it's a little bit better than something that's fairly normal, then you'll see players paying about 40 to 50 gold more than what the other person got it for at the shop. This gives you access to everyone's rolls in the entire game for a good 30 or 40 gold more. And now you can get items that have, say, +6 damage on them on a blue item, and it'll be like 100 gold. Those used to go for like 800. And I know gold's worth a little less this wipe, so that's a little different. But it really has caused a overstimulation of the economy here in terms of gear. And there's so many of these items that people are struggling with where they get one shot from. They're just all over the place. You can get them wherever now. They're not even expensive. And you can say, oh, that makes things even. I don't like it when everyone in the game has one-shot bows from across the map. Like, how is that a fun game to play? You could also make the argument of the rolls are a little bit too good right now. When this wipe just started, the rolls didn't really matter all that much, because rolls were weakened to such a degree that they were quite pathetic. On top of this, legendary items that you can craft, those things have the top rolls, and they're mostly weapons is what they are. And because they are mostly weapons, how often do you actually get like a legendary weapon from killing a high roller boss? It isn't that frequently. Like maybe 1 out of 10 kills, unless you have like huge luck boosts. That is not good, because basically what you're saying is, okay, those super high tier items, those are only crafting now. You don't get those anymore from just playing the game. That's not a way you do that anymore, because how often are you going to get a well-rolled legendary item? A poor roll legendary item now, not even worth 400 gold. Because you can get those good roll purples, and those are a good 5-6 times better than those crappier items. That guy was stalking me. But anyways, I'd like to know you guys' thoughts. Let me know how you guys think this should be fixed, or if you think it shouldn't be fixed and you love it just the way it is and you just really like getting one-shot by rangers, or maybe you are that ranger who likes one-shotting people. Maybe that's the case. Just let me know and tell me about it in the comments, guys. And if you guys like this video, make certain to subscribe for more.